Was a girl running in our group. She had a high-speed motor in a 40 Ford Coupe. She had a racing cam and a supercharged. Look out, buddy, hot rod and large. She's a hot rod. She's a hot rod.
Right now, somehow, or for some reason, maybe it's because of the UAW planning to organize, but Honda Motor Company is weighing a plan to build a $14 billion electric vehicle plant in Canada. I don't know that that's going to be a good idea. The company, which is considering several sites, including one next to its automobile factory in Alliston, Ontario, is expected to make a decision by the end of the year and then bring the new site online as soon as 2028. Nikai said, without identifying how it obtained the information. Doesn't want to tell you. I don't blame him. The project may also include a house production of batteries and would represent Honda's second EV plant in North America if it goes ahead as planned, as Nikai said, whatever his name is. The automaker, with partner LG Energy Solutions in 2022, announced Ohio as the site of their planned $4.4 billion joint venture battery plant. Honda assembles the Civic and CR-V in Alliston, Ontario. Meanwhile, about 250 miles southwest in Windsor, Ontario, LG Energy Solutions is already constructing a new Star electric vehicle battery plant in partnership with Stellantis. You know what? Unless you got a scorecard, you can't tell who's in bed with who, Chuck. And most of these manufacturers got partners in all the battery worlds. I mean, they might have different partners and 5 battery plants. It's crazy. But they're not afraid. They're not afraid. They probably should be, but they're not afraid. San Francisco, Tesla Inc. is expected to post another record quarter for electric vehicle deliveries, likely shy of the ambitious 2 million annual internal target that CEO Elon Musk touted at the beginning of the year. Faced with slowing sales, Tesla leveraged its industry-leading margins and slashed prices on its 4 car models globally in 2023 with a focus on China, where the company has lost market share to locals, including BYD or BID. It's BID, It's the Chinese vehicle that, the price war and slowing electric vehicle demand, however, have prompted automakers, including Ford Motor, to pull back on their electrification plans, leaving Tesla as the undisputed leader in the U.S. and helping its stock more than double this year. I'm going to tell you like it is, Chuck. China, so they got a bid went ahead of Tesla. In China, you got to buy a bid. It's a government car. It's partly government. You know who else has got a piece of that? Warren Buffett. He sold part of it, but he still got a part of it.
Well, it was funny how excited the American media was to go, oh, Elon is not the reigning electric car champion. It's like you're literally cheering on a Chinese company.
Yeah.
As opposed to American-produced cars, here making money here in America. It's like they were so excited to say that Elon Musk had been dethroned. And then it turns out Warren Buffett. So that makes sense.
Yeah, they're all in this. We're all in this together, and we're in it with them. Believe me. Billions of dollars. Now this kicks me, and I'm not happy about it. Billions of dollars in hydrogen industry subsidies from President Joe Biden's signature climate law will come with stringent environmental safeguards, raising concerns that the strict rules will stifle production of the nascent climate-friendly hydrogen. This is so that his fat cats can shut down the hydrogen progress. This is no good.
And
have the government.
Sure the cobalt mines have the same regulations, right? All the mines for making the batteries?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Well, yeah, but nobody's using them.
Yeah.
And it says stringent environmental safeguards. They can't have a stringent environmental safeguards to do lithium and cobalt because it ruins your planet. It digs big holes in your ground. That's not environmental. They can't have any rules. Under the proposed rules laid out Friday, the new clean hydrogen tax credit won't benefit existing nuclear power plants, which is a blow to reactor owners such as Constellation Energy Corp that lobbied for inclusion, that lobbied to be included in this. Administration officials, however, said that they could change the guidelines when they're finalized. So they're going to take and get rid of hydrogen or oil in these plants and use hydrogen, which provides as much as $3 per kilogram of production, is meant to spur a domestic industry in the clean burning fuel, which is seen as a critical for decarbonizing steel, cement, and heavy transportation. I buy it. It's the way to go, and it's going to be the way to go in your car. But the guidance, which is still in draft form and subject to revisions following a 60-day public comment period, has been the subject of intense lobbying in Washington over what kinds of projects will qualify. They want to run these nuclear plants on hydrogen, get them fired up and going. U.S. Senator Joe Manchin, he's West Virginia, who has opposed attaching strict environmental rules to the tax credits, blasted the rules, saying they hobble the hydrogen industry before it ever gets up and running. This is what I'm talking about. This is what it is. For an administration that wants to reduce emissions and fight climate change, it makes no sense to kneecap the hydrogen market before it can even begin. This is Manchin talking again. There's a lot of groups that are all about this, and they're going to find. I think what's going to happen, Chuck, and okay, correct me you're going to correct me if I'm wrong anyway, but let me just ask you or tell you, I got to say that they're going to try and cripple the hydrogen thing simply because somebody with big money is behind this electric push. Because the electric push went all cattywampus. It's all crazy.
Well, the other thing, you see, so Joe Manchin from West Virginia being a coal state and all these things, I think that the way to look at hydrogen is as a byproduct of petroleum, and it's still, the environmentalists still look at it as dirty. It's a byproduct of the dirty refining and dirty oil and dirty coal. But it's clean. Right, but that's the whole point, is that this isn't, you have to stop applying common sense to this scenario and go, they don't care where the cobalt comes from, but, hydrogen, and it comes from oil, it comes from coal, it's a byproduct, it's from the dirty coal, right? I mean, that's the whole thing, is that it feels dirty, even though it's a clean energy solution.
Well, you have to have electricity to build hydrogen. But if you just look at my lineup, line up the facts down the table, where they got these car makers to start building electric cars because they swore that's going to be the future. So the electric car company, or the car companies, went all electric, not all electric, but they went big time renovation, big time plants, and billions of dollars on battery plants and car plants and everything else without having Charger 1 or environmental or grid 1. They did that all the way. And now the hydrogen people start to move up and say, hey, we're going to build you a car you can drive just like the one you're driving now. Pull into a gas station, fill it up with hydrogen in 10 minutes, and say goodbye.
Well, I think that's another important feature, is that the idea, as I always use the example of charging your car in Montana, is that you can retrofit or add hydrogen to a normal gas station fairly easily, as opposed to building a grid and doing all these. So, I mean, as far as adding hydrogen to an already existing gas station, it seems a little bit easier.
Well, they could do that and get rid of the diesel pumps, because you can get rid of those black smoke belching garbage cans that drive down the highway. You'll have them running on hydrogen.
Right.
And you can use mostly the same parts of the motor. So it'll take some time to transition, and I'm sure the people that are behind hydrogen know this. But they also know that they have a big fight on their hands, because the government and the electric car push, there's something there. It's a big push. This is not a little push to make everybody electric. And I ask people, They come in my shop because I sit at my desk all day. That's all I do. And I talk to people, everyone that comes in the door. I haven't found one of them that said he would ever buy an electric vehicle, he or she. The women are definitely against them.
Okay.
Okay, because they don't want to go someplace and forget it. They don't pay attention to the gas gauge. How are they going to pay attention to the charge gauge?
Well, because the Tesla will drive you to the charging station. Go, oh, you
Yeah,
gotta go right now.
A Tesla will do that.
Yeah.
If there's a charging station handy. If you don't have a 250-mile shot to the charging station.
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying. It's all lined up here, and it's just all stinks. Somewhere, somebody has got something. They've got a kickback or a marketing or something coming for this. I don't know who it is. I don't know what it is. But we are building electric cars so fast, we can never build electricity that fast. What are we going to do with them? Plus, we're never going to get them to sell again. People don't want them. Here's the deal. We're not arguing, we're talking about hydrogen versus electricity. And of course, everybody says, George, you're a conspiracy theorist. And you know what?
Well, the conspiracy theorists had a good track record lately. So
Exactly. I haven't been wrong yet this year. I have not. I have not had one conspiracy theory come back on me. And I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen.
It's been a heck of a week, too.
Yes, it has.
This week's been a heck of a year, right?
Yes, it has. It's been a year.
Yeah.
This is the whole year we're doing now. No, and Chuck, I'm telling you, this all lines up to mean something shady is going on. Why would these car makers spend billions of dollars cutting into their bottom line?
Like I said, they don't want to. I think they're staying awake at night going, what's government going to do?
What did we do?
What are they going to do to us? Because again, once states like California, once California has a mandate, that's why every car has California emission standards, right? Because
Right.
I mean, again, once California does something, everybody falls in line, and we already know what California's plans are. So I think. And so again, I always tell you, think about the mindset of California. I tell people all the time, I said, just think like you're from California. No offense if you're listening from California, because I know we got at least one listener.
It's the land of fruits and nuts. Give me a break.
But so, I mean, again, it going back to all those things, the stove thing, all these things is that you're over.
That's just the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Right, but I think you're overthinking it. I think you're looking at it from the perspective of, like I said, these people consider hydrogen in the same class because it comes out of the car. It doesn't matter how clean it is. It doesn't matter if your internal combustion vehicle is 99 point whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter because in their mind, just like the natural gas coming off of your stove, I'd much rather the natural gas be used to make electricity 1,000 miles away, so I don't have to see it. I don't have to smell it. I don't have to see the burning. So, I mean, I think...
But your electric stove, it leaves no emissions whatsoever.
But that's my point. But again, the energy that you use in California, the energy that they create to boil that water comes from a natural gas power plant 1,000 miles away. But in their mind, you look at it and go, I don't see the burning gas.
They don't see the power plant.
The electric car doesn't, I don't see the coal power plant on the other side of town. Ergo, I have a clean car. Again, I think you're overthinking this whole thing. I think it literally comes down to my electric car doesn't have a tailpipe. Ergo, it's clean. I don't care where the power came from. I don't care how many dinosaurs we burned down the street. To me, I don't have a tailpipe. Ergo, it feels clean. Right. I think it's that simple.
I hope you're right, but I don't think so.
But okay, to your point though, those people are very easy to manipulate. Those people are very easy to convince. Hey, this car doesn't have a tailpipe. Ergo, it's clean. Ergo, give us billions of dollars. And so again, I think the way I look at it as an entrepreneur is anytime you create a new industry, there's money to be made.
They tell me, oh yeah, my car, the car in front of me is supposed to be a clean car, and look at it. Look at the smoke coming out the tailpipe. I said, it's a rainy day.
Right.
That is steam.
Right.
That's steam coming out of that tailpipe. That's nothing. That's thick water. That's all it is. These people just won't, nobody, no matter what you say or no matter what anybody says about the electric cars not being green, because they're not, and about the hydrogen cars being green, because they are. Or the natural gas cars. There's a big cement company called Ozinga.
Right, Ozinga's all
Down south.
CNG.
They
right?
run everything on natural gas.
Right, and there's fleets of garbage trucks and things like that are running natural gas and hydrogen.
And there's no oil residue involved. There's no carbon buildup in those engines.
Right.
The natural gas burns super clean. Super clean. I looked at a specs on a 2023 car the other day about the tailpipe and the hydrocarbons and nitrates of oxygen, and they were barely there. So on natural gas, on regular gas rather. And who's to say we can't make our internal combustion engines that much better?
But I mean, we look in your lifetime though. Look at.
And we don't have to tear the planet up to get the lithium.
Right. But I'm saying, look in your lifetime. Cars have gone from getting 8 miles to the gallon to 80. You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And everything about them is clean. Everything about these. I mean, even you added DEF to diesel and all these things that have happened in your lifetime. And now that we've almost perfected the internal combustion engine to the point where it's so efficient, it's it's so clean. Now let's throw it out the window. That's the crazy thing about it.
I'm never going to see this in my lifetime. You probably will.
Yeah.
But I predict that the electric car will be the car in the garage that up on blocks that the guy's saving as a collector.
Well, I
like
mean,
your DeLorean.
A lot of people are making that Cybertruck DeLorean comparison, and I'm not a
Exactly.
fan.